Hey, there's somebody there. How are things going tonight? Going to do a little talking about a few financial situations I got going on. Not quite ready to get into this. My nephew just messaged me. He's trying to be an amateur gunsmith like me. He's a gun nut like I am. I collect old guns, and he's come across an old shotgun he's working on to restore as a wall hanger. And I'm trying to convince him that if he just listens to me and follows my advice on where to go, he can find parts, original parts, unused, and fix this thing and have a shooter and something that's a whole lot more valuable than what he'll have as a wall hanger. And it'll be an investment for the future for a collector. So hopefully he'll do that, or at least I'm hoping he'll do that. I don't know. So while we wait on other folks to join us, I'm going to finish up this can of Coke and go get another one. And I will return shortly after I finish this can. I've got a few swallows left, so I'm going to sit on my lazy behind before I get up. And hopefully somebody will be there to talk to before I go get my next addiction fix. Ah, there's somebody there. There was somebody there. Thanks for stopping in, whoever you are. You count as a view. Might not get any watch time off of you, but you count as a view. I know there's somebody there just lurking around waiting. Only had one swallow left. Save that for my ash can. I'm gonna get another drink and I'll be right back. If there is anybody there, because more likely it's just me, myself, and I, because I only see three on the screen. Let me check participants before I go, because I'm pretty sure it only says me, myself, and I. Yep, me, myself, and I for right now. But hopefully Jim and the gang and Elizabeth and I can never remember who's who. B. Dot Honey, I think that's Elizabeth, and then Stacy, and I haven't seen her in a while. I know she works nights, and I'm just bad with names. Maybe Ontario will show up and Jim, and we'll have ourselves a good conversation because we're going to talk money during a time of global pandemic. I have sat on my ass and made $35 in the last day for not doing a damn thing. Well, we'll just sit and wait a little while, see who shows up. I have been out of my meds for a few days, and I have actually taken one, or will be taking one extra one today to make up for it so I can sleep tonight. Couldn't sleep at all last night being without, but it's the price you pay to be sane. But I have come up with a storyline for some of my memories to maybe form into a book or a play or maybe a some kind of literary piece. And the words that I had in my mind just escaped me, but it's either searching for the last first kiss or our last first time, talking about a wonderful woman that I had the privilege of knowing and caring about, and us having a relationship and just drifting apart in college after high school. And she passed away on me 6 years ago this October. And I hadn't seen her in probably 12 years at the time. And I'd only talked to her in the last 2 to 3 months of her life. And it's really a heartbreaking story because that's truly the one that got away. And now I'm left with just one other friend that I completely, wholeheartedly trust with anything in my life. And would trust with my life if I were in the hospital. I know she would not pull the plug on me. Hell, my own parents would pull the plug on me. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. So, yeah, being without my medication has put my mind in the past, and that's not a good place for me. It's not that I have bad memories, it's just that being back in my hometown, I passed this girl's house where she lived in high school every time I go to town. And they're remodeling it right now, and it's way out there, man. If it weren't for Xanax, I'd be ape shit. Girl meant a lot to me. Sweetest, kindest girl in the world. But who knows? You might see it on Netflix one day. The second first time or the last first time. Hadn't decided on the title yet. Somebody's joined us. Hey, girl. I was just talking about being without my meds for a day or two and damn near going crazy. People are always being real. Damn, I got mosquitoes already. People are always being stupid. That's why I don't have any friends. I've got one friend I wholeheartedly trust. The other one that I had, the girl that got away, passed away on me in 14. Oh, yeah. If I pandemic by, it's going to be toilet paper. That's it. Just because I saw everybody else was buying toilet paper. Actually, I'm pandemic buying stocks. That's the money talk I'm talking about tonight. I took $100 and I put it in TD Ameritrade, and in 20 minutes, I made $1 a minute. That was yesterday. Today, I moved $375 more into it, and I bought a few stocks. And I have made $35 without getting up out of my damn chair. I know everybody ain't got that, but if you can spare $100 and you got a bank account, set up a TD Ameritrade account and get into this stock market while it is low. There are a couple good companies. Actually, the one I made the most money off of is the one that owns Smith and Wesson. And go figure, global pandemic, people are panicking. What do they want? Protection. They're going to go buy a damn gun. Fuck you, you liberal sons of bitch and gun grabbing sons of motherfuckers. I'm buying stock in the guns because I already got guns. So now I'm going to make money off people who ain't got guns. Our horse flies come and go. Some years we have bad horse flies and yellow flies, and in some years we don't have any. But if you can spare $100 to start you an account, I guarantee you in the next month, 2 months, by July, whenever the stock market is already, hopefully it keeps this trend it picked up today. There's one company that has a, a drug out, and I think it's called Descovy. The name of the company is Gilead Sciences. This drug, they're testing on the coronavirus. They have already cured 2 people with AIDS. They're completely HIV free now. And it's also acting like a vaccine that people who are at risk for contracting AIDS because of their activities that is keeping them from catching the virus. Plus, this company is fixing to spend $50 billion to buy out another company. Granted, I only have 2 shares of this because I bought 2 shares at $69 or something, and they've already jumped up over $70 a share today. There's like 72 when they closed. So I made a few dollars off of that. I didn't get into that this morning like I wanted to. I got them this afternoon, so I didn't make as much money as I could have. But it is definitely time to get into the stock market. Whatever if you can't do anything except go to the local bank and open up a Roth IRA account, that way you put in $100 or whatever you can afford to open up the account, the minimum. You've already paid taxes on that money, so you can pull it out. It's just the money you make off the stocks you have to leave in until retirement, whatever that age is. But you can pull the money you put in out and leave the rest there to keep earning money for you. If you need it, go take out what you put in. The money you've made stays in. It keeps working for you. But that's what I've been doing. I've got bills out the ass, and I ain't got a job, but I just got my income tax back. I've got a few bills that are a must pay. There's a new beetle bug I ain't seen before. I got my front door open and the screen on it ain't worth a crap. So, matter of fact, I'm fixing to go ahead and get rid of some of these damn bugs. But yeah, right now is the time to invest money. Excuse me. I just put out a little bit of my barn spray there from the mosquitoes, so maybe they'll leave me alone now. But yeah, I was thinking about it and wondering how I was going to pay these bills because if I'd have finished paying up the two bills that I got to have paid by June, it would have taken every damn cent I had from my income tax return and left me with just enough money to get my rifle that I want to keep out of pawn because I had two in pawn. I got one out. The other one I might leave. But I just said, you know what? The stocks have crashed. They might go lower. Start looking. And I started looking, and I said, screw it. Today I'll do $100, and we'll see what it gets me. Well, Smith and Wesson made me $20 the first damn afternoon. So then I put more in it this afternoon. And come Monday, when the market opens again, we'll see what it does. Because I know I'm eventually going to have to sell off a lot of this stock to pay my bills because it's going to be made a profit for me. But every month I can set aside $5 or $10 and put that back into stocks because I'm not. I've only got one expensive stock. The rest of my stocks are like $10 or less. And they're going up $1 or so a day. And if I've got 15 stocks at $10, I spend 150. And if they go up $1 a day, I'm making $15 off $150. I can't do that at a bank. I can't do that with a CD. I can't do it any other way that fast. I'm just now getting into it. I took economics in college. I basically understand it. I don't know all the company names and their histories and their track records, so I'm having to learn all that again. But it's not hard to do. I basically go back and look at 3 to 5 years of their performance and understand where we've had little hiccups here and there from reading news articles and stuff about our global or our domestic economy. And I've known for a while and figured for a while that, stock market can't just keep climbing and climbing. Eventually, it's got to self check itself and it's going to drop. And this coronavirus provided the perfect opportunity. I bought Carnival Cruise Line today. Yeah, the ones that had the coronavirus on it. I bought that today for $15 a share. I bought 15 shares of that. I've already made money off of it. They predict in 6 months, if things keep going the way they're going, that stock is going to be worth $70 a share. $15 turns into $70. That's what $55 profit in 3 months off of each one. That's $550 and over $550 in 3 months. That's about $700 in 3 months just for sitting on my ass. But right now, I'm buying individual stocks. I'm fixing to diversify into a Roth IRA. That way, I can get into the funds where I'm not fully vested in one stock. I've got $10 in this fund, and this fund has 100 stocks in it. So if some of them fall, others are going to gain, and over the long-term average, you're going to go up instead of constantly go down if the stock's losing. So that's my plans, and hopefully it's going to work out a whole lot faster than what I anticipate. And there is my nephew again. He has got himself an old shotgun that he's wanting to make into a wall hanger, and I'm telling him he could probably get a few parts from a gun supply house that I deal with and all that. His shotgun, he just got old. It's got some dents in the barrel and stuff like that. And I've told him where to look for videos on how to get those out and all that. Hey, Jim, get your checkbook out, Jim. Start you an Ameritrade account. Get into the stocks. It is the time. They are at the bottom. They might go a little bit lower, but I got a feeling they're fixing to start rising because in another 2, 3 weeks, they're going to have a better handle on this coronavirus and things are going to start to get better once the supply chain starts rolling out of China again. Because I put $100 in a stock in an account yesterday. I made $20 off of that stock in less than 4 hours. And oddly enough, the stock it was Smith and Wesson. People want security in this time. They go out and they buy a damn gun. So fuck the liberals, fuck the left. I already own guns, so now I'm making money off the people who don't, and they're going out to buy guns. I don't think we're going to see a major depression. Not yet. If we do, it's going to be about 2 years down the road. And if that seems to be happening and stocks start dropping, I'll sell every damn thing I got in a heartbeat. But once we get China's ports open back up, stocks are really going to start to rise. If we have a depression, it'll be about 3 years away. No, I don't think it's going to last that long. It'll last about, I'm figuring around 18 months before thing. I don't think we're going to get back to over 26,000 on the stock market, but we're going to get back to close. This is what they call a correction. And it's been a long time coming. I've been thinking it's coming for the last 2 years since Trump got into office and everything started to skyrocket. I'm like, there ain't no way this can happen because this is not good. This is going to cause stagflation like we had back in the 70s. And now the market's trying to correct itself. This is just a natural process. I'm getting in on the bottom damn floor. Because if you ask Warren Buffett what he lost in 2008 when the market crashed, he'll flat out tell you he lost zero because he didn't sell nothing. He kept it. He knew it wasn't going to last forever. Then again, he can afford to do that. I can't. I'll wind up having to sell mine, which I plan on selling some of it anyway. But I bought one major stock that has just had their second HIV AIDS case that is cured. And they're testing this drug on the coronavirus. That stock is booming. (2008) should have been a lot worse than what it was, but the Fed propped up the banks, and luckily this time around, it's not the banking institutions that are the ones in trouble; it's the corporations. So far, banking is holding up fine. It's the corporations that are having trouble, and a lot of them have gone out and, like Boeing, they went out and took every available bit of credit they had and got it today. or was it yesterday? They took out everything they could borrow just to stay afloat. But yeah, in '08, it should have lasted longer. But the Fed dropped interest rates so much that it actually corrected itself. But it didn't correct it for us. It corrected it for the leftist elites. I don't think it's going to get bad as what everybody says it is, because this coronavirus, they're scaring the hell out of you from the left wing. Yeah, it's bad. It can take up to 37 days to leave your body. It can live outside the human body for at least 3 days, they know. But I hate to sound morbid, but taking out a lot of the older population is sad. But think of how much money that's going to save the government in entitled benefits such as Social Security. I mean, think of how much it's going to save corporations in retirement plans and keep them afloat. Personally, I hope we don't have the outbreak like Italy has. Trump did the right thing, putting travel restrictions in place. And everybody blames him for us having it, but he did what the liberals wouldn't do. Keep the borders open. Yeah, let every stupid motherfucker from the damn unclean countries. China's a nasty ass damn place. And we've stopped the USDA inspections on poultry coming. We send our hog. They bought Smithfield. We send hogs over there, or the whole carcass. They process it, send it back. We send them chicken. They process it, send it back. What the fuck are we doing? Can't a motherfucker get a hatchet, go out in the backyard and chop a damn chicken's head off? I mean, shit, I do that every once in a while my damn self around here. Fuck. We are a lazy damn nation. Yeah, they did. And they dropped the interest rates too. They pumped all that money in there. But it's not the banks that are having the problem. It's the corporations. Because people are losing confidence and they're not buying and they're not able to go to work. And then you got the left like Nancy Pelosi. We're going to do something to help the coronavirus victims. And then she tries to backdoor money for abortion into the damn thing. And what's abortion got to do with the coronavirus? Nothing. She tried to totally bypass the Hyde Amendment and wants to make this healthcare bailout a permanent, regular thing. Oh, no, 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 no. Sweetheart Nancy, let me tell you something. You're a fucking left wing elite parasite on the economy and the American people. Shut the hell up. Give the scientists the money they need and sit the fuck down, because we don't need to be funding abortion during a coronavirus outbreak. We need to be focusing on containment, quarantines if necessary, and figuring out how to beat this damn thing, which I got a feeling in the next 6 months there'll be something, because if Gilead Sciences, if their antiretroviral therapy works on the HIV and is cured two of those guys completely, and now they're testing it on 1,000 coronavirus victims. If it works on that, this shit is knocked out in 6 months. because they're bypassing a lot of red tape to get this thing into the trial market and get it going. Silver is actually down. Gold's still down too. The biggest problem we're going to have is Russia and Saudi Arabia fighting over oil because we're the largest producers of oil in the world. But yet, these two behind us are having a fight over it, dropping the crude oil prices down, which hurts our oil producers because we pay our guys more than they pay their guys. So we got a lot of oil companies that are going to be in trouble. Which I was glad to see USO, United Standard Oil, for our country, its stock is going up. I was glad to see that today. But I'm like Jim Cramer from MSNBC. Let's just buy some fucking oil. We can buy a whole damn bunch of fucking oil while it's cheap. What's the worst that could happen? We wind up with extra oil we don't need, and whenever the price goes up, we turn around and sell it back on the market and make money off of it. That way, it'll keep our companies afloat. And we've got all the oil we need stockpiled. And then when the market goes up, all the excess that we've been buying to keep the market propped up, we sell it and make a damn profit. Silver is not hard at all to find. You can find it at any damn pawn shop. You're going to pay a little bit more than what spot is, but you can do that. Actually, the best way to get silver is to go to the bank and get rolls of dimes and quarters and go through them and find all of them from 1964 and before. Every year I find 15 or 20 of them without even doing that. I used to go get rolls every paycheck. I'd get 2 or 3 rolls of quarters and I'd go through them and I'd always find 1 or 2 silver quarters, 2 or 3 silver dimes. I'd even do it with wheat pennies or a couple rolls of pennies and get wheat pennies. Out of 3 rolls of wheat pennies, I was always guaranteed to get at least one a roll. I need to go back into doing that because coin silver is roughly 94% pure. Sterling silver is right at 98, 99% pure. You got a point there. And you know what caused that to where they don't want to pay us? The left kept pushing the unions to keep pushing the companies for more money. If they left it alone, think about it. If you've got a company where you pay a guy $20 an hour to sweep a floor because he's in a union, and you can move your company either down south where there aren't any unions very much like Georgia and pay that same person $7.25 an hour, or move it over to China where you can pay that person $3 a damn day. What are you going to do? That's the federal level right there caused that problem. American industrial might should be mandated to have, it's okay to outsource some of your jobs. Don't get me wrong. Or to buy parts. but there needs to be a federal mandate on a certain percentage that has to stay in this country, and that we should not be doing business with countries that violate human rights like China does, or does not have a fair wage for their workers. If they're not on par with the rest of the world economy, we ain't got no business having our companies over there. That's just like the coronavirus in Italy is so bad because they brought 300. Now, Italy's only, it's roughly the size of Florida. And they've got 300,000 Chinese people living there. Now, to us, that ain't much because we got over 300 million people in this country. Italy's only got about 40 million. That's a big chunk. And they brought these people in so they could keep the made in Italy stamp on their products. Not made by Italians, made in Italy. Yeah, they're made in Italy by cheap Chinese labor. And those Chinese people came back from their New Year holiday and they brought that damn bug back with them. And look what it got them. You go for cheap shit, you wind up with cheap shit. You get what you pay for. Rent, I will agree with you, is too damn high. Even where I live, you're going to spend $400 to $500 a month for a single wide mobile home in a trailer park. That ain't right. You can go out, and if your credit is good enough, you can get a land and home mobile home package and spend less on the mortgage for that than you can to rent one from somebody else. There's something inherent. There's still something wrong with our housing market. It'll correct itself out. I ain't putting no money in that. I'm looking at stocks that I know are going to be needed. Most of mine are like I said, Smith and Wesson, biomedical, and things that are going to be needed. You know, so I'm being picky and choosy about it. And so far, it's working out for me. I figure in about 3 months, I'm probably going to cash about half of it out, leave $100 in there, and let that ride, pay my bills up. Hopefully, by then, I'll have a job, or at least I'll be back in school learning phlebotomy. And I already know how to draw blood. I've done it before. I did it while I was in college, part time, at a doctor's office. But back then, you didn't have to be certified. Now you got to be certified. So I've got to take the classes, or if I can talk my doctor into letting me work. I told him, I said, if I can just get the required number of sticks, I can go ahead and register for the certification exam. I'll come in and do blood draws 1 day a week for you if you'll let me for free. Just let me get the number of sticks I need so that I can apply for the exam. So maybe he'll do that for me. Then I can take the test and be certified, and because there's plenty of jobs. I mean, it only starts off around $9, $10 an hour, but hell, that's a starting point. And if you stick with it, I know people who've been drawing blood for 10, 15 years, and they're making damn near $45,000 a year just drawing blood, and that's all they do. They go to work, they sit there. They might not draw blood at all one day. One day they might draw 20 or 30 samples. So that's what I'm looking at, other than trying to get this stock market to make me some money in the meantime. Because I know I'm going to have to cash it out to pay some bills. So my nephew is taking my advice, and he's going to carry the gun down to my dad's to have him look at it to see if my dad don't know shit about damn firearms, but at least he's got a mechanical mind and he can figure out what needs to be done so that he'll help him out. He needs my help, but and I really wish my nephew wouldn't go down there because my nephew's in high school and they're already testing people in surrounding counties for coronavirus, and it's running rampant through schools. A college near here's had a one test positive. Two counties over, or one county, two counties that we play in high school sports have had kids in the school test positive. We've had some school administrators test positive. I wish my nephews wouldn't go over and see my mom and dad. They're older. If my nephews even got the coronavirus, they wouldn't even know it. I mean, it's so mild on the younger people. No problem, Jim. Not a problem. But yeah, I wish my nephews wouldn't go down there. But my mom and dad are bullheaded. They're not going to quit going to Walmart. They're not going to use, well, my mom will use hand sanitizer, but my dad won't. So I've been out in the public the last week, so I'll probably go see him Sunday. I've given myself about 5 days away from people to see if I run a slight fever or anything like that, that I might have any symptoms before I go over there. And then they're going to tell me I only come over there because I want money. It's like, no, I don't need your damn money right now. I just thought I would be safe with my parents and not come over because I'm job hunting and I visit a lot of places during the week. And this week I slowed down because of the coronavirus, and I'm not going to pick my pace back up for at least 2 or 3 more weeks to see how this thing is going to play. I'll do a lot of it online. I ain't taking a chance with my mom and dad's health. They don't see it that way though. Oh, don't worry about it, Jim. I ain't even put the damn air filter and spark plug, let alone bought gas to go in my tiller. I ain't even started, and I need to do that probably tomorrow. I'll run to town, get some gas, change that out, get some tilling done. But I've got to put, either I've got to spend money to buy some temporary fencing to go around my garden to keep my goats out because I ain't got them fenced in yet, and I got almost all the materials I need. I just I don't. It's been so cold. My back hurts when it's cold, and I haven't dug the fence post holes to put the fence in. I got to get them fenced in because I'm tired of the bastards jumping on the hood of my car and screwing. the horny little bastard I bought, he's getting at the age now, he ain't quite tall enough, but they'll jump on the hood of my damn car and go at it. And it's like, look, you're supposed to do it in the back seat. I'm not opening the damn door for you. So go around back. There's a shed. Get in the damn barn like we used to when we were kids. Go up in the hayloft and do what the hell you got to do. Get off my damn car. But yeah, another thing other than the stock market is grow your food. Definitely. Because we're fixing to come into this solar minimum and it's gonna hurt like hell in the next 2-3 years. Because there's gonna be food shortages everywhere. The growing regions are gonna shift back to where they were during the time of Abraham in the Bible. And that's over around Iraq. They called it the Fertile Crescent. It wasn't a damn desert back then, let me tell you. It was green. It grew crops. Otherwise, there wouldn't have been people there. They were just too damn ignorant and rock throwing sons of bitches after they found Muhammad that they couldn't get the good sense that the Lord gave out to move the fuck out of a damn desert, you dumbass. That's why they still throwing rocks over there. But the growing regions are going to shift. Luckily, I live in the South. It's going to affect me, but hopefully not to the point that I can't be self-sustainable with summer vegetables. And if nothing else, I'll be in a growing zone and I'll eat a hell of a lot of damn cabbage and broccoli and shit like that. Carrots, root crops, things like that. I'll be in the perfect growing zone for it. So either way, I'll have something in a garden. I'm just glad I don't live somewhere like North Dakota where for the next anywhere from 5 to 10 years it's going to get to the point where they can't grow a damn thing without a greenhouse. And then here you got Bill Gates and his 2.01 crap. See, what they don't tell you is a lot of these rich elite parasites on the left, they know it's not global warming that's causing the problem with our climate. It's the sun. And the sun is going through its cycle. Check out the channel Adapt 2030. I've heard this because whenever I was in college and I got my degree in history, they had this big 6 foot long timeline of human existence on the wall, and I would study it. And I noticed that about every 5,000 years, there was a catastrophic event that caused a decline in the world population for some reason. And now looking back on it, those events coincided with solar minimums. And here we are. It's right around the time for another big one to happen. It's just a shame it's going to happen in our lifetime. But it ain't nothing that we can't get by. Just hopefully this time we don't lose our technology like we did before, because if you think those ancient Egyptians moved them damn big ass stones for those pyramids just by rolling them on logs and crap like that, they didn't have near enough damn Egyptians on the face of the earth to roll them damn stones in the time frame they built them damn pyramids. They had other technology that helped them move them damn stones, and it got wiped out. right at the end of the Bronze Age. They call it the Sea People's invasions, and really, it wasn't the Sea People invasion that did it. It was natural events, and more than likely solar events. A solar minimum occurred, and the Sea Peoples were from the northern areas, and they moved to the south around the other areas. And hey, they're in survival mode. They would have fought any damn body to survive, and that's exactly what they did. They fought Egyptians, they fought Hittites, they fought Amorites, they fought Hebrews, they fought any damn body they could in a climate where they could actually survive and live and thrive, and drove a lot of people out. The history of mankind is a very violent and easily disrupted history. And a lot of it is due to ignorance. Back in those days, I can understand the ignorance, but during our times, I can't, because we have people lying to us about what's really going on with our climate, what's really going on with our food, what's really going on with our money and our health. And there's no sense in it. I have no damn faith in the government at all. I'm forced to vote Republican because it's the only party that makes half a damn bit of sense. But even they can't put into words the right way to understand, let alone inform we, the people, of what's going on. And the United Nations is the most god awful organization on the planet besides Walmart. I have no use for the United Nations. It needs to be abolished, disbanded, and every damn country that's a member of it needs to be quarantined for at least 5 years on the international scene, other than individual trade agreements, to break that shit apart because it is too corrupt. The WHO, which is part of the World Health Organization, is part of the UN. Their ears are full of Chinese money. The leader of the WHO comes from Ethiopia. Ethiopia is in bed with the damn communists in China. That's why it took this long for them to call it a pandemic. China didn't want to have blame put on them, and they're trying to blame us that our army put it over there. How the fuck our army get in China? We invade them and nobody tell us? Them stupid son bitches to say anything. China is the most god awful, corrupt place on the planet. I'd rather do business with Vietnam than China. And that ain't saying a whole lot, because I still ain't forgot Uncle Hope. But I must admit, since the end of the Vietnam War, Vietnam has progressed a whole lot more towards becoming a first tier nation like the United States than China has. China is still third world. They make crappy goods, they steal, they lie, they cover up. They covered up this damn coronavirus for almost a month. And look what happened. One good thing happened. It hit Iran's government hard. That's the only good thing that's happened. He hit Iran's government hard, which that's just good justification. You need to replace a few leaders in that country. Hell, we just had to use 2 airstrikes in Iraq on Iranian-backed militias because they fired rockets and killed Americans, British, and Polish soldiers in a camp in Iraq that was helping train the Iraqi army. So we bombed the hell out of their ammo depots, killed the shit out of them. Glad of it too. And the only way you're going to solve the Muslim problem is to kill all the damn Muslims. I'm sorry, they have been radicalized so much in the past 102 years since the end of World War I, when they divided up that area. That's where the whole thing began. Up until then, Islam was peaceful because the Ottoman Empire kept everything under control and under check. But once the Ottoman Empire fell, everything started to turn radical. And they've gone backwards. And the only way to cure that is to cut the head off the snake. Eliminate the whole damn population of them. Besides, they live in my house ain't clean, but I don't live in filth like they do. And a lot of theirs is not because they don't have the money. They got oil, they got money. They just don't learn. And these left-wing liberal nuts over here think that we're supposed to bring these people into our country and welcome them with open arms. And they've got IQs between 85 and 90. And I follow John Mark, and he is absolutely right. If a nation's population is less than 100, there is no way it is going to become a first world country like the United States, Great Britain, France, or any of the Western civilizations. There's no way. They have no way of supporting themselves because they don't have the intelligence or the education to do it. And I'm not saying that these people are dumber than we are. They were born with the same ability that we have to learn and gain knowledge. They're just not given the chance. And then when they get over here, they don't take advantage of that. And they wind up draining money out of the system instead of putting money into the system and working. Even though they might have a job, they're not working toward the same goals that we are. They've got other priorities. They have low trust in us, just like we do of them. So they develop these little micro communities, and it doesn't work that way. Well, actually, we're better off that way. You know, we need to let all these liberal cities that want to have open borders be their own damn little independent territories within the nation. You rule it how you want to. If these are your political beliefs, you go over there. If these are your political beliefs, you go over here. A place for everybody. I'm not being racist when I say this in any sense of the word, but segregation actually fucking worked. separate but equal. When we had segregation, you did not have black on black crime like you do today. You did not have the black market like you do today. If it had been equal, not just separate, it wasn't equal. That was the fault, was separate but equal. Plessy versus Ferguson. Separate but equal. If it had been equal, there would be black communities, white communities, Asian communities, Indian communities, Latino communities, all separate, but learning the same things in school, learning the same things in college, being able to do the same jobs. Hell, even some of these corporations might be owned by some of those folks instead of elite parasitic leftists like we have now that'll export a damn job in a heartbeat just to make a higher profit. Parasitism doesn't work in a society that wants to grow and have a stable economy and a good standard of living for its people. But the left doesn't get that. All the left sees is these people are used to voting, or they're not used to voting at all. And they come from dictatorships where they're controlled, or socialist countries where they're controlled. And the left is appealing to them because they want control of everything and they're going to make you safe. Whereas in those countries they came from, the government never said they were going to make them safe. These people believe that because they don't know any better. They don't have the education. Without the education, the IQ level doesn't go up. Without the IQ, the society declines. Well, our separate but equal was done in a racial way with Plessy versus Ferguson. But separate but equal actually does work. If you go into any high school cafeteria and you look around, you'll see the white kids sit with the white kids, black kids sit with the black kids, Asian kids sit with the Asian kids, and there's a few that intermingle amongst the groups. Even at a young age, people associate with their own ethnic group. And white folks, by far, are the least racist of them. We're the ones that are usually a couple of us sitting with the black folks, a couple of us sitting with the Asians, a couple of us are sitting with the Latinos, and a few of them might come join us. But they stick to themselves. They don't trust white people. And I can't say as I blame them. History has proven them right in not doing it, but at the same time, we have advanced. I mean, the Republican Party is the one that freed the slaves. Come on. But yet they turn their back on the Republican Party and vote for the Democrats because the Democrats are going to hand out money and free shit. But separate but equal will work. Because back in the 50s and 60s when we had segregation, you didn't see the black on black crime. You didn't see neighborhoods like Compton and Chicago with gang wars. I've only got one person I trust other than myself, too. So don't feel like you're the only one out there. I can't say as I blame you there because I learned a long time ago blind faith in people and giving out automatic trust will get you killed. Matter of fact, I think Bruce Springsteen even put that in one of his songs on the live album, The River, I think. You're absolutely right, and that's where a lot of people make mistakes is they compare the past to the present, and you can't do that without making adjustments for changes in time and changes in what's the word I'm looking for? Changes in ideological thinking. See, like in the 1960s, it wasn't nothing for a group of white KKK men to go out and lynch a black man. Now, we don't have that problem, which I thought it was hilarious that the federal government just got around to last week making lynching a federal crime, even though it's been against the law in all 50 states for years. Why are they wasting time on that bullshit? It's a hate crime to lynch somebody. I'm a white guy. What if I go out and I lynch another white guy? Is that a hate crime? Is it racially motivated? No, it's just simply fucking murder. It ain't a hate crime, it's murder. And last I heard, murder was illegal in all 50 states and every territory of the country. But when you compare events of the past to the present, you have to account for ideological changes because it truly is apples and oranges. So if apples are $5 a pound and oranges are $3 a pound, you've got to make adjustments to get the right outcome. You are absolutely right. AOC got up there and opened her damn big, actually beautiful red lip mouth the other day. She is a damn good looking woman. I'd do things to her to make her say, damn, what that old white man do to me? But she is so stupid. It is racist because we're not going to Chinese restaurants. Well, duh, you fucking dumbass. Where'd the coronavirus come from? China. Where did these people just get back from their Lunar New Year celebration? China. Do you think I'm going in a damn Chinese restaurant? Not at this point in time, hell no. And I love Chinese food. So is it racist and xenophobic that I will not enter a Chinese restaurant and sit down to eat? I might get an order to go as long as I can see it being prepared and I know it's cooked right then and they're all wearing gloves and all that good crap. But I ain't sitting down in no damn restaurant and I ain't hanging out with the people. I'm standing away from them, get my shit and go. But is it racist? No, it's not racist. It's just cautious. The left wing is so damn quick to call everything racial and downgrade the white person. It's all our fault. All the ills of the world are the fault of white people. But AOC's got some challengers in her congressional district. She's got two good ones. I can't remember their names right offhand. And I hope, I don't care if it's the Democrat or the Republican, just one or the other of them, please stomp her ass, because New York still has not forgotten the Amazon deal that she fucked up and cost them jobs. Good jobs. Parts of New York still mad about that. And then she gets out on the trail with Bernie, and she's a big Bernie supporter, but what does she do? She turns two-faced and endorses Joe Biden. Because, I mean, Democrats do want to try and take the White House. He is the most logical candidate. I mean, he's the only one that stands a chance. And really, with the way he's been acting, it seems to me like dementia is setting in on him. And there ain't no way in hell I'd vote for him. It's like John McCain. I didn't vote for John McCain for one damn reason. Sarah Palin. Something about her I don't trust, I don't like. I never felt that she could be commander in chief and had the qualifications. So I didn't vote for him. I voted Libertarian that time. Pretty much a wasted vote, but damn sure wasn't voting for the Democrat. Which I'm anxious to see who he picks as a running mate. Because if he picks Stacey Abrams from Georgia, which is a possibility, he's going to lose his ass. Because can't nobody in this state stand her except the black folks and the white elite liberals. Because this woman is a damn lawyer. Her mom and dad are college and high school instructors. She's already in her mid late 40s, and she still ain't paid off her school loans. There's something wrong with your ass. You can't pay your damn bills. And I ain't got no problem with folks like us. We're scratching just to get by day. And if one of us ran for political office and we were in the middle of a bankruptcy, or we had to file bankruptcy, but we were running for office anyway, I'd still vote for that person because they were out working and trying. But you're a damn lawyer and you can't pay off your college loans. There's something wrong with you. You have made some very bad life decisions to where you have not fulfilled your potential, let alone paid your debt to society. I owe the government $44,000 in student loans. And I can't find a job, let alone get government damn help for where I broke my back. I can't get disability. Hell, I won't even be able to get food stamps after March or after April, which I'm not on food stamps, because even in the midst of this coronavirus thing, if you don't work at least 20 hours a week, you're not going to get food stamps. But what they don't tell you is if you work 20 hours a week, you're probably going to make just enough money not to qualify for food stamps. And that's going to fuck the Department of Agriculture all up because that limits the buying and selling of agricultural products. These people won't be buying as much as they usually do, although it's government subsidized. Therefore, the farmer is not going to get the price that he needs to get in order to stay in business. It's actually going to hurt agriculture. They don't think of things like that. They look at it all as numbers. They don't look at it as what are these numbers connected to? How do these numbers make the system function? Without the food stamps being distributed to these people with the SNAP benefits, how many grocery stores, especially the little independent ones, like the one that Thrifty works for, or is oh hell, I get y'all mixed up all the time. Thrifty and B Dot. The one that works for the local IGA. You cut the food stamps out, that store is liable to close. A major portion of their business probably comes from food stamps. Yeah, I can remember you as Elizabeth, but I still get y'all mixed up. I don't know why. I guess all white people look the same. I don't know. So if they cut food stamps, they're hurting the farmer, they're hurting the consumer, and they're hurting the businessman. Okay, now I'm seeing Thrifty say Elizabeth and Jim saying VDOT is y'all confusing me. Stop. I just know y'all as people I like. That's all I can say is I know y'all as people I like. I'm just one man, just one simple man. You know, men are not the smartest creatures on the planet. Women tell us that all the time. But I'm taking a chance on the stock market for a few weeks, see how it goes. When I get a little bit of money made, it looks like it might start to go down again because I figure it's probably going to go down again in about another 2 weeks. I figure it's going to have a short rally until they finally figure out how the coronavirus is going to affect this country. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, I even posted on her channel that I'd probably do a live stream tonight since Jim was wanting to ask for one. So I said, "What the hell? I hadn't done one in a week or so. Might as well." But my advice: get in the stock market now. Make what you can. When it starts to tank again, either hold on tight and ride it out, or pull your damn profit and run. I'm more than likely going to pull my profit and run and leave just a little bit in there. I'm going to get what I can get while I can. Because it's the perfect time to make free money. I figure I've got about a month before I'll have to pull out most all of mine. I figure probably a month of up and down, but more up than down. And then I'll draw my money back out, pay my bills, and whatever I got left over, I'll throw back in and ride it out. Because if you sell your stock before a year is up, you pay regular income tax on it. If you hold on to your stock for more than a year, you only pay 15% tax on it, which is about 6% less than regular income tax. So it saves you money if you're in it for the long haul. And if I'm able to leave a little bit in there, say for the next 15, 20 years, yeah, I'll be all right. I don't know how that's going to look. It's going to take me a month or two to figure that out because I do keep up with the economics because I like Ice Age Farmer and Adapt 2030. And then I also keep up with the market watches to see what's what, which I've got to do a little bit more because I'm fixing to break my portfolio up into two separate parts. One that's got stocks and one that's IRA, a Roth IRA, so that whatever I put in, I can take out, but the money I make, I leave in so I don't have to pay a tax penalty on it. And I've got something for the future. Roth IRA is really the way to go, but you don't make as much money as quick. And right now, I'm looking at quick, and then I'll settle into moderate growth. But if you guys are interested and you can afford to just start off with $100, I highly recommend American Outdoor Brand Corporation. They're the ones that own Smith and Wesson. They have been moving and shaking, and I have made it. That's my biggest mover right now, and they're only $8 a share. Not even $8 a share. I got in on them when they were $5.90 a share. Now they're over $7. I mean, I've made my money back off them. But it's something if you're going to do it, you've got to If not every day, at least every other day, you've got to check it. You've got to look and keep up with it. 'Cause if not, you can lose your ass. And right now, I spend half my time trying to find a job. The other half of my time, I'm either watching a YouTube video or a movie or reading a book. So why not watch the stock market and make a little money off of it? Get caught up on my bills of what I can with that and do it. But I'll be glad to share any information on the stock market where I'm making money. If you guys want to do that, I'll tell you what stocks I have because I only have one stock that I lost money on, and I lost a total of 9 cents. Not even a dime. I did not lose a dime. I lost 9 cents, and I'll hold on to that one. I got a feeling it's going to go somewhere. It's a biomedical one. I like the biomedical sector for. I mean, let's face it. The world's population is getting top heavy with old people. They want to live just like the young folks do. So we've got to have the medical research. Well, hello from in the Philippines, where it's always tropically sunny. How's our friend Duarte? Is he still killing drug dealers on the street? I think he's a son of a bitch, but I do like him because he's got the bold brassness to stand up to any damn body. Knowing good and well the Philippines couldn't even beat our American Boy Scouts. I like the guy though. Well, I guess we're doing as well as can be expected. These guys will tell you for themselves they're pretty decent folks. Jim's a good guy. Thrifty's a good girl. But one day I wouldn't mind going to the Philippines. I'd love to see that place. It looks like a beautiful country, but I'm scared I'm just a little too white to fit in there, and I might be one of them that get kidnapped or something. And that wouldn't do any good for me to get kidnapped because hell, ain't nobody in my family got ransom money. I said you were an evil, evil person, and you always vote Democrat. I'm lying. I said you're a good old girl. I bet he is. But I don't think now is the time for me to be visiting there yet. It just seems like there's a lot of unrest over there because you guys have that President Duarte, and he's radical. I like him. He's got balls, but he's a, he's a little out there. But I like the way he stands up to folks. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican either. People say I'm more libertarian, but I like to refer to myself as a GDI. I'm a goddamned independent. I vote for whoever's going to do the best job for me, or at least who's going to lie to me and tell me they're going to do the best job for me. I mean, at least, you know, use Vaseline before you bend me over and screw me, like all the rest of them hadn't been doing for years. And they ain't even had the common courtesy to give a reach around neither. For the last 15 years, I've just been getting butt pirated and ain't even got nothing in return. Oh, damn. My nephew done sent me another question. Excuse me just a minute. It's starting to get chilly. It's getting time to close the front door. I haven't had to use the heat except for a little bit for a week now. And I still got one whole tank of propane left. I guess that'll go to my flame weeder that I bought that I haven't used yet. Might try that out tomorrow. But I think I'll get the tiller up and running first, get things tilled up, and then figure out if it's going to take longer for me to do the fence and finish it, or spend $45 on plastic netting to go around my garden to keep my goats out until I get them fenced in. Hi, Adventures of Frank and Tina. Wasn't your latest video the one about the livestock? I can't remember. I watched one, or I was going to watch it. I'm doing good. Glad you stopped in. I mean, I didn't get to watch it yet. What was wrong with it? Because it looked like you have some kind of vampire bat thing there that you're raising. You have things like and look like little wings coming off. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, and I've been meaning to, and I just haven't gotten to it. Oh Lord. Well, maybe tomorrow, if things go well, I will have some kind of actual real video put up instead of just doing live streams. But I like doing live streams because I get to, talk to all you guys because I really enjoy that a whole lot more than I do making the videos. My sister used to have a Himalayan cat that she had to shave about twice a year, and the vet always had to sedate this cat. I mean, this cat was vicious. I mean, no front claws, would bite you like a dog. I would have to put on leather gloves that came up to here to be able to get this cat and put it in the cat carrier for her to take to the vet. That cat was just did not like people. Leave her alone. And she was named right, Cleopatra. She was named appropriately because she was just mean as hell and would not eat anything except for one brand of cat food and vanilla ice cream. Oh, well, Wrangler Star made me so mad, and I did those videos about him. I'm not going to call him out anymore. I'm just going to get me a pair of glasses like his. I've got a broke down riding lawnmower. I'm going to start making parody videos about Wrangler Star. Because he truly is a hack. I mean, yeah, he does some interesting stuff and he knows how to do a lot of things, but the man is a hack. Then I think that cat needs to find a new home. He's acting like a teenager. Kick him out. Oh, when I start making parody videos about him, it'll be worth it because they'll be funny. But as far as attacking him anymore for that attack that he did on me, I'm not doing that. I'm not stooping to that level. But I will make parody videos. There you go. Send that cat to Wrangler Star. I mean, I'm gonna do stuff like put on glasses that look like Wrangler Stars, and I'm gonna comb my hair to make it look like him. Except my hair's not. Hell, I might even dye it one day that damn color just look like him. And I'm gonna walk up to a light pole and call it a Doug fir and start talking about timber and crap like that. Because I'm from a different part of the country where our timber is different than his, and it's a whole lot better because we grow long leaf slash pine. What they make light poles out of, that crap they grow up there where he lives, they use for studs and walls because the shit don't come out straight. I live where they make turpentine. He don't. What got me about him, what finally made me quit watching his videos, is he got on his video and prayed out loud, and it hit me. A man that prays on the street corner gets his reward right then. But a man that prays in private gets his reward in heaven. The Bible says that. That's a paraphrase now. That's not, I can't quote you the chapter and verse. That's what the Bible says. And when he did that, it clicked in my head. You're not the Christian man that I need to be talking about or I need to be associated with. And that ended it for me. I am in Southeast Georgia. I'm about 90 miles north of Jacksonville. I'm almost dead center between Savannah and Brunswick. I know you guys are up around the Atlanta area. You're in North Georgia. But no, it's not, Jim, it's not going to be a string of parody videos. It's just going to be one every once in a while. I hadn't thought about that. A wig, yes. I'm not very far from Darien. Darien is in between Savannah and Brunswick, a little bit closer to Brunswick. And I am an hour and 20 minutes from either Savannah or Brunswick, and about the same from Darien. I'm by Waycross, Georgia. That Waycross and Douglas are the and Vidalia. I'm actually in the area that I can legally grow and sell Vidalia onions. Oh yeah, I know Jekyll. Yes, I love Jekyll Island. I haven't been there in a couple of years. I need to get back down there and do some fishing. But I live in a little town called Alma. So if you ever take US 1, which I know you guys probably take interstate, but if you ever take the scenic route and you take US 1 and all that to get there, you've passed right through my town. Then I've probably at least seen you, if not met you and talked to you. Hell, I might have even sold you some cast iron. I refinish cast iron cookware and stuff like that and resell it. Or if you've got rusty cast iron and you just want to use it again, small fee, I refinish it for you. In the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've made a little over $100 doing that for one person. I used to have one guy from out of state that brought me stuff from Florida to do, but I reckon I've already done all of his. I haven't talked to him in about a year now. But I'm pretty damn good at it. I learned how to do it the old fashioned way. I don't burn them off with fire because you can't control the heat. You'll either warp your pan or crack it. But I've learned how to get the crud off of it and get the rust off of it. And I learned how to season it the old fashioned way with lard. All these other people talk about grape seed oil. No, you're screwing your damn pan up. For thousands of, or not thousands, but hundreds of years that they've had cast iron cookware, lard was the seasoning of choice for a damn reason. It worked. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because I can go in there and turn my stove on right now because I only own one aluminum pot and it's cast aluminum and it was my grandmother's. That's the only reason why I have it. Other than that, I cook in cast iron. But I can throw a piece of cheese in that frying pan and cook it for 10 minutes on high and it'll slide out. It don't stick. I'm 45 minutes south of Vidalia. You go Vidalia Lines, then there's Baxley, and then Alma. I've been wanting to get a bead blaster, but I've never been able to afford it. Just whenever I get money, something else comes up and I have to spend it on that. But seasoning it, I mean, I can tell you how to do it, but it'll take you a while to perfect it. You just got to get the temperature up to the smoke point of whatever oil you're using or fat and let it burn in because seasoning is nothing but rust. It's just like the gun blue on a barrel. It's a form of rust that doesn't progress. It's in stasis. But I'm in the area that's legally I'm allowed to if I grow onions and sell them, I'm allowed to actually advertise mine as Vidalia onions because I'm in the legal area to grow them, and I need to because you go back through some of my videos, you'll see my onion plants from the year before. Because this past winter I didn't do anything. I mean, I've had some health problems since February was a year ago. I've had some oral surgeries, and it just it broke me down mentally and physically. And I'm just now getting to the point where I'm back on YouTube. But I can grow some onions. I'm talking about yay big around onions. But I think this year I'm gonna try and concentrate on peppers because we've got a high migrant population. And if I can get enough peppers in the ground soon, I can hit that market because they love fresh. I mean, I used to buy 50 chicks at the time and raise them out, and I could sell 50 chicks at, and they didn't want the kind that you buy at the grocery store, the Cornish cross. They wanted the old damn yard bird, old fashioned Rhode Island red, Australorp, Dominecker, game. They wanted yard bird. And they'd come and they'd buy two or three of them a time at $10 or $12 a piece for a damn rooster that was 12 weeks old. And they'd tie their legs together and go. And in the course of the year, I bought 150 chicks and sold them all to Mexicans. So I've made a pretty good bit of profit off of the Mexican community around here. And I used to do quite a bit with hot peppers, and I'd make them a good deal, and they would come, and I had 2 dozen hens at one time, me and my ex, and every week, come Friday afternoon, they'd come by the house. I wouldn't have the first egg left. At 2 dozen eggs a day on average being laid in 7 days, that's 14 dozen. I mean, they'd be gone in 5 minutes. Anything out my garden, they'd buy it, wouldn't question the price at all. They want their food fresh. I haven't been to Laura S. Walker in a while. I used to go fish there once in a while. The last time I went that way, I went to the gun range just to see what it looked like, and I'll just target practice here at the house. Well, I thank you for the prayers. Every prayer helps. I got 2 does and a buck now, and I got to get the fencing up. I just let them roam around and eat whatever the hell they want. They're not fenced in right now. They're kind of like yard dogs. They stay right around the yard. They hear a car coming, they move away from the road. But I got a problem with them fornicating on the hood of my car, and it's like, look, you're supposed to do it in the back seat, but I'm not letting you in my car. So go to the barn in the back, do it like we did when we were teenagers. Crawl up in the hay, do what you got to do, and just stop. Get off my car. But yeah, I want to get my goat population up so that way I can sell to them. They've already made offers on them a couple times, but I can't part with them yet because I'm just getting into them, and I just got my buck back in October. He's 6 or 7 months old now, and he's not quite tall enough, but it ain't stopping him from trying. I don't want them on the hood of my car though. They leave hoof prints, and they're liable to dent the damn thing. Plus, I don't like the noise. But now that the weather's warming up, about you new guys don't know, but back in 16, I got in a car accident and I broke my T6 vertebrae. So I have to take pain meds because medical marijuana is not legal in Georgia, and CBD does not work without THC because it's a reciprocal process on the cell receptor where they interchange is what causes the pain to go away. So CBD by itself is not as effective as CBD with THC. So I have to take pain meds, and I don't want to. Hopefully, they'll come to their senses and say, "Hey, we can get tax money off of this shit, and let's just legalize it." And maybe legalize it to the point that somebody can grow, up to 5 or 10 plants of their own for their own personal use. And then I'll just grow my own, and I won't freaking worry about taking damn pills. I'll self medicate at home and be healthy and not have any contaminated Chinese junk in me. But now that it's warming up, I'll be able to get out and get some fencing done and things like that because the cold weather really makes my back hurt if I go out and do a lot of lifting and moving and digging. So if I do, then that's an extra pain pill I got to take that day, and I try to avoid all that because I realize the older I get, the more I'm going to need it, and I'd rather use it when I'm older than use it now and have to take more or either stronger stuff, 15, 20 years from now. I'm trying to play it smart. Oh man, the Okefenokee Swamp is one of the most amazing places on earth. I love that place. I I love to just rent a canoe and canoe through the park all day. I mean, it's just amazing. I want to go down toward I think it's Fargo and in that area where they've got the platforms out in the swamp that you can actually camp on. They're raised above the water, and you can canoe through all the old timber company canals and stuff like that and see all the sights. I've never done that, but I want to do that. That would be just amazing to do. The Okefenokee is truly an amazing place. I've had some of the most beautiful sights I've ever seen in my life in that place. And I've turned a canoe over in front of an alligator before, and that was not the most fun thing to do. My buddy turned the canoe over because he saw a snake and he's scared to death of snakes. And then I was mad as hell because it wasn't nothing but a damn little old water snake. And then here he is turning the canoe over in front of a 6 foot long alligator. And it's like, turn the canoe over, get back in, take your hat off, start bailing it out, you stupid motherfucker. I figure in the next 2 to 3 years, medical and recreational use will be legal in Georgia. It just takes us a little bit longer to get over it because of all the Baptists and Methodists down here. But I used to live in Americus, Georgia, so I know Cordele very well. I was manager of the Wendy's in Cordele, Georgia for a long time, right not even 2 blocks away from the Rocket. And I loved Americus. Americus is a beautiful town. And actually, whenever I was there in the 90s, per capita, there were more millionaires there than anywhere else in this country. And it was all old money. If your family moved there after the Civil War, you were considered a stranger. But that was the friendliest town. The rich people and the dirt poor people all got along, sat down, drank beer together, shot pool together. I mean, it was a wonderful time going to school there. Well, I say I went to school there. I mean, I enrolled in school there, but I spent most of my time in Pat's place. So if you're familiar with Cordele, you probably know Americus and you probably know Pat's place. I spent many days eating a Reuben and drinking beer in Pat's place and shooting pool. And Habitat for Humanity has taken a lot of those old houses from the late 1890s and early 1900s, man, and they are so beautiful. The work Habitat has done on those houses, I love it. I mean, Americus is one of the most beautiful towns in Georgia, as far as I'm concerned. It's just amazingly beautiful. And I highly recommend if you haven't been to Americus, it is worth the trip to go to Americus and have a pizza and beer at Pat's place. Jimmy Carter is my 16th cousin, and I've actually met him, been to his church, listened to him teach Sunday school. Oh my God, I haven't been to Leslie in since probably 93, 94. Leslie's a nice little town too. But going to see Jimmy Carter teach Sunday school, that was an amazing time. And my Facebook profile picture is me standing next to Jimmy and Rosalind. Matter of fact, I might be wearing this shirt in that picture. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I'm half and half on Jimmy Carter. He is a very good man, handpicked by Rickover for the nuclear sub program. His international politics were half and half in my book. I mean, he did great with brokering peace deals, but the Iranian hostage situation is what cost him the election. He should have acted on it like that and been done with it. But he's too much of a Christian and didn't, his conviction wouldn't let him take a military action like that with that much risk to life and limb. And then whenever he did, and the two helicopters collided accidentally, I mean, it ruined his chances of reelection, which might be for the best because his economic policies really weren't as strong as Ronald Reagan. Because back then, people did not think trickle down would work, but Ronald Reagan was a supply side economic. He had a degree in economics, and he was supply side economics all the way. And it took time, but his policy worked. And eventually, it worked so well that it stomped the Russians into submission. Oh yeah, you can't help but back the guy from your own state. But I'm a huge admirer of Jimmy Carter. I love his humanitarian side more than anything. He is truly a man of God and one of the most Christian presidents that we've ever had. And Willie Nelson has said that he has smoked dope on the roof of the White House with the president, but could not say who it was. But it was after Gerald Ford, but before Ronald Reagan. So who do you think that could be? And I don't doubt it because, I mean, look, we had Billy Beer. And if I ever run across one bottle, let alone a six pack, I don't care if it's open or not, I'm buying it because the crap is worth a shit ton of money. Billy Beer, unopened, ain't nothing but vinegar now, but it is worth a ton of money. Yeah, he did do a number on the auto industry, and he actually hurt some farmers too. One of my friends' family lost 125 acres because of him and his farm policy. His domestic economic policies were not very good. He was better at international politics than he was domestic because he didn't have the economics background. I mean, hell, he was a nuclear physicist. I mean, there's no way you can expect a nuclear physicist to understand the basics of macro and microeconomics and how, you know, money flows from here to there and things like that. You hold on to that six pack, buddy, because I guarantee you that's a retirement account right there. I would just about bet that it's about $200 a bottle opened. Unopened, I would hate to know what it's worth, especially if it still comes in this original six pack carrier. And Jimmy Carter is a very, very good artist too. He does some paintings. I've seen some of them in the high school that he went to. Very talented artist. Cans have got to be pretty much on par with bottles, but I think cans are more appropriate for Billy Beer because Billy truly was a redneck Bubba. So cans go with the personality more than bottles do. Billy didn't have class for bottles. I mean, he was more of a can person. But I really feel sorry for Plains whenever he passes away because him doing the Sunday school lessons at the church that he got, Maranatha Baptist Church, that's the big draw for the town. That's where they make their money. Once he passes away, I got a feeling Plains is going to become a ghost town. It's just going to be a few peanut fields and a few farmers and maybe a grocery store or two, which it ain't got much more than that now anyway. But Plains is it's really gonna it's gonna take a hit in the next couple of years when he passes away because I think he's 95 now. Because when I saw him, he was 92 or either 93, and he'd had a heat stroke on Thursday in Canada. Got out of the hospital on Friday. Went back to work with Habitat that Friday. Came home on Saturday. I saw him in church teaching Sunday school that Sunday morning. That's a tough old man right there. Oh, now that is something else. See, all I have is a picture of me, him, and Rosalind in the church. You know, what you got has got historical provenance. That in itself has value. It's probably worth a couple $100. And I bet you that ain't for sale neither. But that was the thing about Jimmy. His domestic policies were not that great. His foreign relations, other than the Iran hostage situation, I mean, who else could have brought Anwar Sadat and Menachem Begin together and brokered a peace deal between Egypt and Israel? I mean, who else could have done that? Nobody. I mean, that's probably one of the greatest peace deals of the 20th century. As a matter of fact, it's probably one of the only peace deals between Arabs, or I should say Muslims, and Jews that is still binding, and both sides are reciprocating in kind, not like the Palestinians go back on their word with the Jewish people every time a peace deal is proffered. Palestinians are worthless. That Rashida Tlaib can kiss my ass, and that damn Somali Ilhan Omar who married her damn brother to get him into this country, and we got somebody up here that's, and they're still not properly investigating her for immigration fraud. And she's in Congress, but yet they want to complain about Trump blowing up a damn terrorist in Baghdad that's killing Americans overseas. But yet we got a Muslim in Congress that committed immigration fraud, which is a federal offense, and they can't properly investigate her. Yep, he was governor back then. I haven't been to Paulding County in many years. God, it's been at least 30 years since I've been there. She needs to be shot. Her, Rashida Tlaib, uh, the Presley one, and AOC, all of them need to be lined up and damn shot. I don't know. AOC's kind of pretty. Let's put her in the porn industry and make her a sex slave. Let's do some human trafficking. Show her what socialism will get her. Because that's exactly what socialism's all about. Yeah, if we could just get rid of them and Nancy Pelosi and Elizabeth Warren, we'd be all right. We can tolerate Bernie Sanders. Hell, he don't do nothing no how. Nobody ever heard of Bernie Sanders till he ran for president last time, and frankly, he got robbed, and I hate that. But hell, he would have lost to Trump anyway, and he's getting robbed this time, and hell, he would have lost to Trump anyway. So, but I applaud him for his courage to stay in the race, even though he knows he ain't got a chance in hell at winning. I give him credit for having balls to stand up for what he believes in, even though he believes in the wrong thing. That's all right. I'm thinking it's about time for me to get off of here. I'm gonna cook me a hamburger and probably go my behind to bed because I kind of sort of want to get up early in the morning, get some work done. And I didn't sleep at all last night because I ran out of my meds and I was tossing and turning and couldn't go to sleep. And I'm a little bit tired. So I'm probably going to cook me a hamburger, eat that joker, and throw on a Western and fall asleep watching TV. Oh, have you guys ever watched the movie The Deer Hunter? I finally got around to watching that last night. See, out of the Vietnam War movies, you've got The Deer Hunter, Apocalypse Now, Platoon. Then it was Full Metal Jacket and Casualties of War. Top five all time Vietnam movies. The Deer Hunter is the only one I hadn't seen. Up until then, Platoon was good, but it took all of the bad stuff of Vietnam and rolled it into one movie. Full Metal Jacket was more realistic. and actually was filmed in England, believe it or not. Stanley Kubrick did not want to leave England. It was all filmed within 10 miles of his house in England. They flew in palm trees. They had an old French architecture city they were going to demolish, and that's where they did the Battle of Hue. And it took them 18 months to film the damn thing. So by the time it was over, I mean, it was really like a tour of duty in Vietnam for them. But the Deer Hunter and Full Metal Jacket are the two most accurate depictions I've seen of that era in any movie. I hadn't seen that one until last night. I finally got around to watching it. I've been wanting to watch it for years and years and just never got around to it. And then when I started it, I didn't realize it was 3 damn hours long. But man, it blew my mind. That was amazing. I loved it. Oh yeah. Big Eastwood fan myself too. I like him in the spaghetti westerns. And Josie Wales, one of my favorites. Yeah, Thrifty, you're probably disappointed with the Deer Hunter because of the ending. It kind of shocked me too, but it was a very, very good movie. But anyway, guys, it's 11:20. I got to go get this hamburger cooked up so I can grab me a bite to eat and get me some sleep tonight. I'll try and keep a regular schedule with some live chats and maybe do a video tomorrow with getting my garden tiller out there and getting some stuff prepped up. And I'm going to check that out. But and maybe in the near future I'll do a Wrangler Star parody. There's a couple other channels that I don't particularly care for either. I might do some parodies of them too. You know, everybody likes a little humor. It's not that I dislike the people or hate them or anything, but you know, my taste in their channel is just not that good. And I don't agree with what they say, so why not poke the bear and have a little fun? You know, they say that whenever you use satire against someone, it's the ultimate compliment. You know, kind of like Saturday Night Live poking fun at the president. It's an ultimate compliment to be made fun of by someone. You know, so I'll pay them a compliment. You know, little parody here and there never hurt anybody. You know, good laugh and chuckle. You know, and I'll just have to figure out how to do it without being vicious or malicious or come across the wrong way. You know, just good old fashioned humor. You know, light-hearted, nothing vicious or malicious. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching, and hopefully tomorrow I'll have a video out, maybe even two. Might do one on the maintenance of my tiller and then what progress I got made because I got to get off my butt, got to get something done around here, else my food shortages. I hate buying anything but meat from the grocery store. If I had more than 2 acres, I wouldn't even buy meat from the grocery store. as it stands, I need to get me some chicks because I've only got 3 little bantams, and I just let them roam around the yard. I don't even cage them up. I don't even collect the eggs from them. Wherever they lay egg, I don't care. I mean, it take five for me to have breakfast, and I'd have to wait 3 days to eat breakfast, and it ain't worth it. That, and they're old. I got them from one of my mom's friends, so they're just living their days out in luxury here. But I got to get me some more of those and finish up some fencing. I got a lot of outdoor projects to do and get this place up and running. And knowing that I've got people waiting to see how things progress, that kind of gives me a responsibility to fill that void and actually perform. So I appreciate you guys stopping in, and I really appreciate the support you've given me. And that goes a long way toward motivation to get my ass out of the house and into the garden where it needs to be and into the pasture where it needs to be and get these animals contained and put up like they should be instead of just running loose like yard dogs, because that's basically all they are, is dogs. They'll come when I call them, and they'll go when I shush them, and they just don't respect electric fence because they got too much fur. So I'm gonna change that. Put up goat fence, and then the other part that I have electric fence on, I'm gonna take that down, and I'm gonna string barbed wire as electric fence. That way, that barb it'll get into that fur, and it'll actually touch them and shock them. I ain't worried about it cutting them or anything like that because they're kind of thick skinned anyway. So in time, it'll all get taken care of. It just one day at a time. Do what I can till I start to feel it. Give it up for the day. Rest up. Go back at it again. Next opportunity I get, and just a little bit of progress here and there, and keep moving forward. You guys have a great night. Thank you very much for stopping in. I have enjoyed very much talking with you guys, and God bless you. And we will see you next time we have a live chat. Thank you so much. God bless and good night.